Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Just a few minutes to center, keeping the eyes closed. Taking the time to arrive. Paying attention to the posture, head, neck and back in a single straight line. Hands gently clasped on the lap. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Being is the new doing. Keeping the outside world outside, in the sense we don't allow it to infiltrate the mind, internalize, without internalizing the outside world. In fact, it's not the world that's the problem, but it is people in the world, especially people close to me. Mother, this is how she is, she was. Father, this is how he was, he is. When I visualize the mother or the father, I see that they are external, they are their own beings, but they are also loaded in the head in the form of unrequited expectations. Keeping the external world outside means allowing the mother the freedom to be exactly who she was, who she is, in one's perception. Namaha. Om Namaha. Om Namaha. Om Namaha. I take the time now to grant the mother the freedom to be exactly how she was, she is. Of course, in my perception, and when I acknowledge my perception as possibly subjective, I am objective to it. Father, this is how Father is, Father was, in my perception. I take the time to allow him to be howsoever he was, he is. Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om. Then I learned to be objective to my own body, which is again internalized in the form of wrong messages, fear, shame, anxiety. This is how the body is. I take the time to just observe the body as though it is sitting in front of a full-length mirror. I just watch. Head, neck, shoulders, face, front of the torso, chest, stomach, abdomen, back of the body. I just watch the upper back, the mid back, the lower back, arms, starting with the right arm, elbow, forearm, hand, fingers. Left side also, same thing. Right arm, left arm, elbow, forearm, hand, fingers. Same thing with the legs. I just watch. Right hip, right thigh, knee, calf, ankle, foot, toes. Left thigh, left knee, calf, ankle, foot and toes. This is how the body is. So many things about it I cannot change. Height, general weight, color of skin, etc. Who is the one watching the body? I, the indweller. The indweller of the body is free, like pot space. Even though it's called pot space, it's free of being pot. So too I am a conscious being watching this body, free of all attributes of the body. Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om Namaha. turn to watch the sense organs. And for the purposes of this meditation, start with the sense of touch. I just observe. Legs touch the seat, the floor, or the chair. Legs touch one another if you're sitting. Clothes touch the body, again a very subtle sensation. Lips touch one another. And to highlight the sense of touch, half open the eyes and softly, gently close, deliberately. One more time, half open the eyes, very softly close. Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om. Now I watch the mind because it too is external. The very fact that I can commence watching the mind means I'm free of the mind. Thoughts come in a disjointed stream, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. I, the conscious being, a simple conscious being, just watch the thoughts becoming evident to me. I don't chase after the thoughts, nor do I run away from them. Thoughts of the past unfold in me, the now, now, now. I'm forever now. Thoughts about the future, runaway thoughts, bloom in the now, in that vast consciousness, the meaning of the word aham, I. Now is free of time, free of space. Right here, right now, available. As the conscious being, the boss of the mind, not bossed around by the mind. It is this conscious being's nature that all the Shastras unfold. The nature of I as total, whole, free, free enough to have a complaining body, free enough to have had a difficult background, free enough to be whole, even though everything around me is falling apart. This is the definition of I. That we have to assimilate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. When you're ready, you can slowly open the eyes. Audio, some people are having trouble with the audio. Let's see. Is the audio better now? Use headphones. That is also a possibility. And if you don't have headphones and if it is difficult, I have another idea. Go to livestream.com. It's being live streamed. This session is being live streamed there as well. This talk, you can get it. livestream.com/Swaminiji. You can go and listen there. So lots of ideas have been given. You have no excuse not to listen now. Māyāpañcakam. Panchaka means it's a quintet, a group of 5 verses. And this is a kind of a tradition. There is a tradition in the Shastra of writing couplets, and sometimes you can just write one shloka. Eka shloki, Adi Shankaras, attributed to. Of course, all these are attributed to Adi Shankara. Eka shloki, and then there is a couplet, then there is a quintet, pentad also it is called, and then there is 6, Nirvana Shatkam, 6, Shatka, and then like our 6-pack, Samadhi, Shatka, Sampattihi. So Shatka, a group of 6, okay? Then we have octets, Ashtakam, and in between we have this Panchaka, Kutsitarthe Kap Pratyaya, the Ka. It can just be Pancha, but why is it Panchaka? It's kind of diminutive, yeah. Although the subject matter of any of these octets, quintets, they are not diminutive, they are huge. But then, the writer, it's after all a baby, correct? Because the writer has given birth to it. So you call it, little child, Māyāpañcakam. It's like, what is that, quintetlet, yeah, octetlet, like a little baby. So Kutsita means in 2 ways, like Balaha, Balakaha. You see that kaha, that same kaha there. So Balakaha means a small endearing boy. But Kutsita also means another one, Kutilayam gatihi, Kutilayam gatau, meaning in the sense of a kind of a crookedness. That also, it's not just diminutive, it's also, what is that, derisive. Derisive, something lesser than, And so, this is not to be taken in that derisive way. It is to be taken in that endearing way, like Balika, Balakaha, like that. So, Panchaka, Ashtaka. So, because after all, it's the brainchild, it's the inspiration of any particular author. So, the author has an affection for the particular, quintet. So in that sense, it has become the tradition to call it like that, Panchaka. So Panchaka for what here? Panchaka for Maya. So Māyāpañcakam. Then, so Panchaka is, it's not a, what is that? It's not a group of 5 verses to honor Maya. Usually these octets, these quintets and all, they are praise songs about the self. Like the one that you almost studied today, Swarupa Anusandhana Ashtakam. That is a Ashtaka in honor of the Atma. It is honoring the Atma. But here, this is not honoring Maya. Correct? It's not honoring Maya at all. Because, in fact, we don't, what is that? There is not much to talk about Maya in a very praiseworthy way. There is not much to say. Because Maya is, what is that? It is everywhere. It has a bad reputation. She has a very bad reputation. Yeah, very bad reputation. And for reasons that we will be seeing. Because so here it's not a quintet honoring Maya. It's a quintet. What does it do? It is a quintet for which the subject matter is Maya. And subject matter is understanding the nature of Maya as it is. Yeah. Then why do we need to understand Maya? In fact, we don't. We don't need, we'll see what Maya and all is. But first we have to see why should we understand Maya at all? We don't. We need to understand Brahman. We need to understand, the truth of the I is what needs to be properly assimilated and understood. Then where did this Maya come in the way? Why should you have to go through Maya? Well, that's how the setup is. Yeah. Ajnanam. Atma Ajnanam. What is Atma Ajnanam? Centered on the I, this is the self-ignorance. This is what is called Atma Ajnanam. And so the Atma Ajnanam, it comes in the way. And so you have to understand what is in the way so that you can remove that out of the way and then focus on what needs to be focused on, namely yourself. That's why Maya is called Kutilayam Gatau. She goes in a very funny way, And Maya, as I said, has a bad reputation. And unfortunately, along with Maya, because Maya is feminine, women have a bad reputation in the Shastra. Very, very sad. But that's where this comes from. This comes from this feeling that Maya is a force, Shakti after all. And the Shakti is what? Wild. Shakti is wild and Shakti is intractable and Shakti is dangerous. And so what should happen to this Shakti? This Shakti has to be properly managed. With emphasis on man-aged. Okay? Yeah. This is how the feeling is. Shakti has to be man-aged. This and then this is the wrong. This is the wrong understanding of the Shastra, because here in the which Upanishad it is, Shvetashvatara Upanishad, the word Maya comes. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also Maya comes. These are the two Upanishads where the word Maya not only makes a debut but also is defined. Mayantu prakritim vidyat, Mayinam tu Maheshwaram, Shvetashvara Shvetashvatara Upanishad. And then in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad we have one more Vakya, Indro Mayabhihi Pururupam Iyate. Indra here is not the king of heaven, Indra. Indra as Bhagavan, Ishvara. Mayabhihi, along with many Mayas. So the power of Maya is what? The power to desire, the power to create, the power to know, all these, various Shaktis, Pururupam Iyate. The Ishvara as though becomes many with the help of, the powers of Maya. This is the Brihadaranyaka Vakya. And in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad also, the word Maya is very, very clear. And what does the word Maya say in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad? Mayam tu prakritim vidyat. Know Maya to be the material cause of the universe to Prakriti. Prakriti means the nature. Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. Mayin means what? The one who is not in Maya, regardless of how the word reads. Mayin, you would think it's like Vedantin. Who is a Vedantin? The one who is in Vedanta. We have seen this definition before. So, the one who is in Vedanta is Vedantin, and the one who is in Maya is Mayin. No, who. Why? Because Mayin means the wielder of Maya. So, it's a very beautiful presentation. So, it's like this, that there is the raw material along with the power. The raw material is also the power. In fact, it's the power to assemble as or manifest as the raw material. That is the power. It's the power to know, it's the power to be, it's the power to, to act, all these things. Ichha Shakti, the power to conceptualize, Jnana Shakti, the knowledge, and then, Kriya Shakti, the power to manifest, all these things. So this is what is called Prakriti. So this, this is, coded as female because the word Maya is feminine. No other reason. And if there is any other reason, it could be perhaps because Maya is a creative power. Therefore, it is feminine. And then we have, what is there? Bhagavan, Ishvara, who is called Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. Mayin means the one who wields Maya. The one who wields Maya. Wielding means what? The one who is working alongside Maya to make sure, who is directing Maya to populate the Jagat in certain ways. So it's a, it's a show. It's a concerted show. The Jagat, the whole universe is a show of Ishvara and Maya together. In fact, Maya, when you say it includes Maya. But here, just for the purposes of teaching, the Shvetashvatara Upanishad makes that subtle distinction, which has become the bane in a way. It has become a very difficult situation because, the people who don't understand this, and who may know Sanskrit, they will see Ishvara, male, okay? Maya, female. And female should not be without male. Otherwise everything, the whole world will go wild. This is some wrong understanding. Because when you say Ishvara, it includes Ishvari. That is how it is. There is no Ishvara without Maya. Without Shakti, there is no Ishvara. That's why in the Hindu tradition, all the manifestations of Bhagavan, in any temple you go, once they open, in any temple you go, you will see that all the manifestations of Bhagavan are happily married. So you will, even Ganesha, Lord Ganesha is supposed to be a celibate, brahmachari, but even he has Riddhi and Siddhi. Two feminine powers. These are the powers. And the power is non-separate from the being. The being, of course, wields the power, but the power is non-separate from the being. The being is non-separate from the power. And that's why when you go to a goddess temple, again, Ishvara will be there. It won't be just the goddess, So like this, this is a synergy. It's a balance and a synergy. It's not anyone trying to put some kind of an adhipatya over, some adhipatya means some kind of an overlordship. This is not a battle of the sexes, Yeah, Ishvara telling Maya, this week you cook, I will do the dishes. Next week I will do the dishes. I will cook, you do the dishes. First child you have, second child I'll have. This is not some kind of a competition. That is all possible these days, yeah. But this is not some kind of a competition. This is a work in tandem, and the feminine, masculine genders ascribed to Maya and ascribed to Ishvara are for the sake of the bhakta. Because the bhakta, the devotee, is incapable of relating to the formless. How do you relate to the formless, You don't relate, simple. Because even if you say hello formless, that hello is a form. No, it is Bhagavan. After all, you should have a little more respect. Namaste astu formless. If you say, very formal. So, you say namaste astu formless, that namaste is a form. You're bringing your hands together, you're joining your palms together, that's a form. And you're putting flower, that's a form. Formless saga namaha. Nobody says that. Because you have to have a form. And we know that we are not worshipping the form. The form leads us to the formless. The form is just there as a way to, it stands in for that which cannot be objectified, which is ultimately the truth of yourself. That is the Mahavakya here. And so, therefore, this female-male business, is just for the sake of bhakti, just for the sake of, making sure that everybody has some form to relate to. Some people are bhaktas of the goddess. They want, the goddess speaks to them. Some people love Ganesha. So, they cannot start their day without Ganesha. And Ganesha also loves them. And then some people want, some people like Bhagavan in the form of Bhagavan standing with lot of animals, like Dattatreya standing with 4 dogs, and Mushika, all these Vahanas, peacock for Subramanya, all these things. So there are ways to connect to the nature, to the animal world, and there are certain mascots in the form of trees which signifies like Tulasi and Lord Krishna, Vishnu, like this, so there are certain things where, relating to a form brings in the flora, the fauna, it's just a whole ecosystem, very beautiful. And you are worshipfully understanding and relating to Mother Earth through that form. You're relating to Mother Nature, and you're relating to a whole set of things that go together. Very beautiful. So this is not about female dominance or male dominance or the Ishvara Maya connection here. Ishvara includes Maya. Only for the sake of this analysis, we are looking at it separately. That's what it is. And we will see why we are looking at it separately. So this kind of a this kind of a wrong thinking. What is that thinking? That Maya is something terrible because it is female. Even now people think like that. And so it has to be controlled by man or men. This is a very, this has no place in Vedantic thought. If one is a Vedantin, then, the first thing, or maybe, okay, let's not say the first thing, and after all, we want everyone to come tomorrow also. So, one of the things we have to do is transcend gender. That is what it is. That's why all the sannyasis have the same name, Ananda. That's all it is. This so-and-so Ananda, sad Ananda, Sadananda, okay? Yeah, but in America, it is sad Ananda. So, sad Ananda, Sadananda, this Ananda, that Ananda, Why? Because the sannyasi has to go beyond that gender, at least in one's thinking, because it's all about non-dual. And the gender is the last frontier of duality here. So therefore, that too has to be given up. And what better way to interrogate the, veracity or otherwise of this gender distinction than by the study of Māyāpañcakam. It is a beautiful Prakarana Grantha. A Prakarana Grantha, unfolds this, unfolds Vedanta Shastra in some kind of an interesting and systematic way. Except here it is not, systematic. It's systematically sarcastic, but it unfolds it in a very interesting way, nonetheless. So then why does Maya, other than because she is a woman, why does she get a bad reputation? Because Maya is not understood. Maya is to be seen in a twofold manner. One part none of it is properly understood. But the one part is that she is the Shakti of Ishvara, Shakti of Bhagavan. So Bhagavad Shakti is Maya, meaning what? That Brahman with the power to create, with the power to resolve, with the power to sustain. This is all, this is what is called Ishvara. And that Ishvara is the power. So with the power means what? Ishvara. That is Ishvara and Maya together. So what is this Maya? Maya is that which helps this whole Jagat appear. Appear as what? Of course, as an extension of Ishvara. What else? That is what has to be recognized. She makes this whole Jagat appear, sometimes disappear also, but she makes this whole Jagat completely appear. And when the Jagat appears, then, it is recognized, it is seen, how wonderful, oh, that, oh, look at that, what happened here? All these, every day you go out and at least here in Eugene, where I am, a new bush is in bloom. And one tree is fully in bloom, but then that starts to get green leaves on it, but the next one starts to bloom. And then the next, and then the next. And so you can just be outside all day long and just, gawking at nature. And this is the, all the color palette of Maya is active. Everything is just, it's just a wonder. So this is what it is. And then when you look at each and everything, you don't know. It's got an elusive nature, which is why she gets a bad reputation. Got a very elusive nature, like even this flower, very nice flower, not like the modern roses. It's got a nice heavy fragrance, wonderful. So in this flower, there is certain kind of an elusive nature. So where is this flower? What is this flower? This is the flower. Then, as Pujya Swamiji used to say, every knowledge that you have is up to the next question. But then you say, how come this flower is orange and has a heady fragrance, but the other one I saw was red and did not have a heady fragrance? And since we are all living in America, you shrug the shoulders. That's all you do. You nicely shrug the shoulders and keep quiet. Nothing more to do, say nothing more to do. And so therefore, this is something which is, interesting. So then, what is the flower? Is this the flower? No, that is stem. Where does your ignorance stem from? How could you call this flower? This is stem. Oh, then is that the flower? No, that's a hip. Yeah, roses have hips. I learned this recently. Yeah, it's called rose hip. And then when you dry it and then you put it in hot water, you can make tea with it. Rose hip tea, okay? I haven't had it, not planning on it, but anyhow, this is what it is. This is the hip of the rose, okay? Yeah. And then, okay, so this is the rose. No, come on, you're at it again. That is the petal. Also, what's inside here, right in the center, shall we go to the heart of the matter? Is that the rose? No, those are stamens. Amen. That's all. Nothing more to say. So what is the rose here? You put it all together and then that is the rose. How do you put it together? Okay, shall I take it apart and you put it together? You cannot put it together. This is what Maya is. Intelligently put together and elusively falling apart and drive in the and while it is there, it is driving us crazy about to get to the heart of this matter. What is this rose? You think every day, rose. Yeah, this is what you think. Where exactly is this rose? How does this rose come? What is this thing? But this is what Maya is. And this is it because she is knowledge. She's all knowledge. For who? For me? For you? No. For who? For Ishvara. That is one of her manifestations. She's in the form of this knowledge which appears to be this endless knowledge because there is no end. There is no end to this knowledge. She blesses this Ishvara, the maker of the universe, endows him with limitless knowledge, so to speak. Knowledge of how to manifest as a rose, how to manifest as a tree, as a bush, as a the Dvipade, Chatushpade, like that we have, 4-footed, 6-footed, 8-footed, things that fly, things that, things that don't fly, things that crawl around. All this is all Maya. Amazing. An amazing infinitude of names and forms. She is the creatrix, co-creatrix along with Ishvara. And why is it creatrix? Because she is up to a lot of tricks. This is why. So this is why she gets a bad reputation, because she has done this whole thing. And then, I don't know. She drives people crazy because they keep doing research. Thankfully, there are enough PhD topics. That's all. Thanks to Maya, you can keep on doing a PhD in, the petals of the rose, and then the petals of this kind of a rose, or the petals of that kind of a rose. And again, then you ask the person, the newly minted PhD, Dr. So-and-so, what did you conclude? They will shrug their shoulders. That's for my postdoc, because after PhD also there is something called postdoc. You keep on studying. What? The name and the form, which is Maya. Maya is the manifestation. And since she is a manifestation of Ishvara as Ishvara, the DNA of Ishvara, Sat Chit Ananda, permeates. That's why it is an endless manifestation. It's an intelligent manifestation. It's just a phenomenal manifestation. You can keep on going, And so this is how she distracts. This is another reason she has a bad reputation, because she distracts. You can put the nose in the flower and keep on studying flower, without allowing the knowledge of Vedanta to bloom in you as you. You just stuck up with one particular manifestation and trying to milk the infinite through the finite, like trying to press a stone. Somebody was squeezing a stone. What are you doing? I want to get some oil out of it. Precious stone oil. This is what people do in the world. And the blame, poor Maya gets blamed for the beauty, for the, for all the different variegated nature of all the names and form, poor Maya gets a bad reputation. This is one of the reasons. The second reason she gets a bad reputation is among us Vedantins because she is seen as a huge, colossal distraction. Why is she a distraction? Because, what do you want more than anything? You want to study. And then what? There are so many distractions. Just look around you. Look around you. And then in the pre-coronavirus days, remember those days? Yeah. In the good old days, when you were never at home, and when you had so many things to do, and when you were traveling everywhere, going here, going there, sitting in traffic at least twice a day, those days. And then when you were doing all those things, there was just no time. No time to sit, stand and stare, as as one of the poets said. There is no time to do anything. There is no time for any kind of leisure. And so this is the effect of Maya, because she's got that a capacity to the world with all its beautiful and wonderful names and forms has the ability to distract one from the goal. This is why she gets a bad reputation, especially among students and teachers of Vedanta, not teachers so much, but students of Vedanta who are striving to understand Brahman. Maya has a bad reputation because Maya is just like, okay, stay away from me. And in the Kathopanishad also, Paranchikhani Vyatrinat Swayambhuhu Parak Pashyati Nacha Antaratmanam na Pashyati Parageva Pashyati. So, Lord Yama blames Bhagavan, Swayambhuhu. Oh, this Ishvara, I don't know what he thought he was doing. What did he do? He made this beautiful universe. And after making this beautiful universe, gave me all the means of knowledge, such as the eyes, the ears, everything. Gave me the means of knowledge to enjoy this world, the taste, buds, everything. And then he fixed them moving outwards. And then there was an injunction in the Veda, Swadhyayo Adhyetavyaha, please look within. How am I to look within? When the eyes are fixed outwards. The bulbous eyes are coming out like a bug, they're fixed outside, and then I'm supposed to look within. How is that possible? Because outside is not a desert. Outside is full of all kinds of wonderful things happening. And then sometimes you have some other entertainment, one person bashing up another person, and someone, someone telling tales, carrying tales, someone doing this, someone doing that. You can just people watch and be entertained. So many things are happening, and then I am supposed to look within. This is a very cruel setup. Oh Maya, what have you done? This is the lament of every Vedantin, really speaking. Like, how do I come out of your clutches? So the short answer, the long answer to that is to study the Māyāpañcakam. But the short answer to that is to be able to see this twofold nature of Maya, one of which we have talked about, which is the manifestation of all knowledge of Ishvara. And the whole Jagat is nothing but the knowledge of Ishvara. Because when I say flower, where did it go? Yeah, the flower is. If I say flower is, flower exists. That is doesn't belong to the flower. The is continues. You see, the flower in the form of this Nama Rupa, the name and the form, comes and goes and comes and goes. So the flower continues. The is continues, but not as the flower, always. So the flower is, and then what? Then tomorrow or day after it will go like this, withered flower is, and then what? Compost is, another flower bush is, another flower is. So we have a migrating is, but a permanent is. The is that is permanent just packs up its bags and then goes to bless or inhabit another name and form. And when that name and form becomes Jarjarita means old, tired and ready to, go away. Again the is packs up the bags and migrates to another form. Is always on the go. It appears, but actually is stationary. All the names and forms, it's an optical illusion. This is Maya here. It's an optical illusion because the is stationary, even though it's looking like it is migrating. What is migrating is that the name and the form come and go. They glom on to the is and then they die away. And then another one also has, what is that, parasitically, draws its being from the is, and then for a while is able to say hello, and then it goes away. Is simply is. All the names and form revolve around this is. And so the names and forms, are just the knowledge of Ishvara. And so from that standpoint, Maya is a blessing for Ishvara in a way, because she is the one who equips to make this Jagat, a manifestation of knowledge. A manifestation of knowledge, because flower is, and flower is means what? Flower knowledge is. That is what it means. Flower is means the flower exists in the form of knowledge, because there is no other thing other than knowledge. And this knowledge and this isness, if I can use that word, belong to Ishvara. And the name and form belong to Maya, so to speak, but then that name and form cannot be separated from the knowledge. So it's all knowledge. Maya blesses Ishvara with all knowledge. Then what about me? Then, for the Jiva, Maya appears in the form of self-ignorance. Alas. Yeah. So these are the two completely opposite manifestations. Jnana Shakti for Ishvara and Ajnana for the Jiva. So sad. Why is it like this? Well, you can ask why something is a certain way if it is really that way. Right? But here, it is not really that way. You are not really ultimately self-ignorant. We cannot say. Why? Because you have been studying Vedanta, number one. Number two, this Ajnanam, Atma Ajnanam, is also a setup. It's a spoof to keep one in the three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, trapped in Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. More we will see about that little later. And it is a spoof to keep one trapped in this feeling that one is bound. That is what is Ajnana, the feeling that one is bound. And that feeling, is a notion of bondage. It's not an ocean of samsara. It's a notion of bondage that one has taken seriously and one has identified with saying, I am the one that is bound. I and bound have, fused together. I bound, And then Vedanta says, no, you are already what you seek. You are the moksha that you seek. And all that is in the way is a little bit of ignorance. And that is what is called Maya. This is another reason why Maya has a very bad reputation. Stay away from me. And she says, too bad, I'm already with you. When did you come? I was born with you. I'm your twin sister. But thankfully, even though Ajnanam is there, as though, we'll don't worry about how it is as though there, I'll cover it at length tomorrow. And even though Ajnanam is there, it is not ultimately there. It is eminently, disposable. you can get rid of it. That is the whole beautiful thing about Maya. And so the Māyāpañcakam is a, is a satire. It's an ironical, what is that, expose on Maya. Which Maya, which aspect of Maya? Maya as blessing the jiva with self-ignorance. Okay? So with these words, let us chant the first verse and then we'll take it up in the morning class. Nirupama nitya niramshakepya khande Nirupama Try Nirupama nitya niramshakepya khande Mayi chiti sarva vikalpanadishunye Mayi chiti sarva vikalpanadishunye Ghatayati jagadisha jiva bhedam Ghatayati jagadisha jiva bhedam Tvaghatita ghatana patiyasi maya Tvaghatita ghatana patiyasi maya. Together. Nirupama nitya niramshakepya khande Mayi chiti sarva vikalpanadishunye Ghatayati jagadisha jiva bhedam Tvaghatita ghatana patiyasi maya. We will look into it. A very nice meter, very beautiful chant. Doesn't matter if you missed it. Go to the live stream. I gave the address a little bit. If you scroll up in the chat, livestream.com/Swaminiji. Anybody else who wants to make up, who came a little late, who wants to listen to some part again, you can go back. It will always be there. Okay. So it will be under Māyāpañcakam. So you can look at that. Okay. It's being simultaneously being broadcast there also. So if there is any problem with this, you can go there, switch to that as well. Okay? Yeah. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Any questions are there, you can ask. Om, very nice. Nice to see all of you. Yukiko is here, nice. From Japan. Wonderful. Take care. Om.